Firstly, I want to thank you guys for your support on my channel, because few days ago my channel hit 16k subscribers. This wouldn't have been possible if not because of you. Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time of watching my video, my name is Bolaji and this is Regi School of Fashion. In today's tutorial, I will be showing you how to make a double-breasted waistcoat with a shawl collar. This is going to be a step-by-step guide which will cover the cutting up to the sewing level. Kindly remember to give this video a thumbs up so that the algorithm can show it to more people on YouTube. And don't forget to keep watching out on my videos as usual, because that is one of the ways you can encourage me in uploading more valuable content on this platform. So, are you guys ready? Hit the subscribe button now and let's get started. In drafting a shawl collar waistcoat pattern, I will start with the back panel. Okay, and I'm starting with the back panel because we'll be needing the neckline measurement for the back in constructing the shawl collar on the front pattern. So I need to get my back panel ready before drafting the front panel. Also, this tutorial is going to be a double-breasted shawl collar waistcoat, just as the image you are seeing on your screen right now. It's going to be a double-breasted. If you want yours to be a single-breasted, you can go ahead and make it single, but shawl collar usually look nice with double-breasted. It looks more beautiful when it is double-breasted. That was why I decided to make this a double-breasted, and it's going to be combined together with a shawl collar. Also, I've made other designs of waistcoat tutorial in the past, like the V neckline, which is a single breasted, then the U neckline with a double breasted. If you are yet to see those two videos, kindly check the description area below for the link to the tutorial. The two videos are two different tutorials that contain the drafting and the sewing parts. So for the back panel of my shawl collar waistcoat, I have my lines drawn out already. As you can see, these edges of my pattern paper is the center back, and the first line I have here is my starting point. This is the chest level, this is the waist level, and this is the waistcoat length. The measurements required in making a shawl collar waistcoat are the back measurement, that is the measurement taken from one shoulder point to another, the chest measurement, that is the chest circumference measurement, the armhole, that is the armhole circumference measurement of the wearer, the back waist level, the hip circumference, and the length of the waistcoat itself. In case you don't know how to take all these measurements, I also have a well-detailed tutorial on how to take measurements for a male figure. The video has been linked up in the description area as well. You can check it out after now. So these are the vertical measurements I needed in drafting this pattern, which have been started on my pattern already. I call it vertical measurement because I took the measurements from the starting point downward, and I have the chest level. The chest level is half of the armhole circumference measurement. I have 9 inches, so which means the armhole measurement I'm working with is 18 inches divided by 2 gives me 9 inches. Then to the waist level I have 18 inches. Then the waistcoat length. The waistcoat length is a hip level measurement taken from the waist to the hip, or directly from the nape of the neck downward to the hip level. So I have 25 inches for the waistcoat length. So after inserting all these measurements, the first step is to construct the neckline. In constructing the neckline, I will be using 3 inches by 2 inches. This measurement is standard because it works for almost 90% of men. So the width is going to be 3 inches and the depth is going to be 2 inches. Okay, so I have my square line drawn out. From this head to this head is 3 inches, from here to here 3 inches as well, and the depth is 2 inches. Okay, then I will construct a perfect round neckline. From the center back, I measured 1 inch forward. Then I have this as the back neckline. I used up to 2 inches because a waistcoat is going to sit under the shirt collar. If it is not up to this, it's going to be exactly on the shirt collar, which will not look nice. So after constructing the neckline, then I'll go ahead and construct the armhole. In constructing the armhole, the back measurement is needed. The back measurement I'm working with is 18.5, and half of 18.5 gives me 9.25. Then I mark it out, and I will insert the same measurement on the chest level. If you have been following me closely on my channel, you will have been used to all these methods. Okay, then on this line I will come down by 1.5 inches. Then I will slant the shoulder. I will cross this out, as this is going to be a new shoulder line. Then I will measure what I have left from the chest level to the 1.5 inches I use in slanting the shoulder. I will mark out the midpoint. So that's the midpoint. I will extend this inward towards the center back. Okay, then here I will measure half of an inch, like so. Then on the chest level, I will insert quarter of the chest circumference measurement, that is the chest divided by 4. The chest measurement I'm working with is 38 inches. Divided by 4 gives me 9.5 inches. So I will insert 9.5 on the chest level, which I have here. You can see the space I have in between half of the back and quarter of the chest is not much. So this is not enough to construct the armhole. So for this reason, from half of the back line, which is the armhole line, I will make this 2 inches. This measurement is standard for all medium figure. 2 inches works perfectly for all medium, large and large figure. But if you are drafting your pattern for a small figure, you can use 1.5 inches. If you are drafting your pattern for extra large, SS large, then you make it 2.5 inches. Not from the quarter of the chest, but from the armhole line I drew, which is half of the back. Now I can go ahead and construct the armhole. So now I will be connecting these 3 points together. This point 1, that is the 1.5 inches, point 2, and the 2 inches point I measured forward will be the point 3. Okay, so now I have the back armhole constructed. This is my neckline, this is the shoulder line, and this is the armhole. So after constructing the armhole, the next step is to work on the shoulder line. Okay, so for this slanty shoulder line, the measurement I have here is almost 6.5 inches. This is 6.375, which is too much for the shoulder line of the waistcoat. If you leave your shoulder line like this to make a waistcoat, it will look very odd. It will not look good at all. So we have to adjust this shoulder line by reducing this to a certain value. So after reducing the shoulder line, then we will reconstruct the armhole. So for the sake of this tutorial, and because of the short collar design I will be having on my waistcoat, I will be using up to 4 inches for the wideness of the shoulder line. This measurement is not constant. It depends on your preference. If you want the shoulder line to be very narrow, you can reduce it. If you want it wider, you can add to it. Okay, but make sure what you use is not too much. And another thing you can do is to get the midpoint of your shoulder line. If you get the midpoint of your shoulder line, so whatever you have from here to the midpoint is enough for your shoulder line. But because this is with a short collar, the collar is going to overlap on the shoulder line. It will cover up part of the shoulder line. So that was why I decided to make this 4 inches. So this measurement has to be taken from the neck width point, not from the armhole side, from the neck width point. So I will measure 4 inches forward, like so. So this is a new measurement I measured out, 4 inches point. So after marking out the wideness of the shoulder line, then I will come to the chest level and take the chest level downward by 1 inch. This is because this is a waistcoat. The waistcoat, the armhole of the waistcoat must not get to the armpit. There must be space for the shirt. Don't forget, this is going to be on a shirt, so we have to leave a space for the shirt to rest on the body before putting on the waistcoat. So for this reason, I will take the chest level downward by 1 inch. So this is just for the construction of the armhole alone. Please take note of this. This 1 inch I'm taking downward is for the construction of the armhole. It has nothing to do with every other measurement. So this 1 inch is constant. You cannot use below 1 inch, but you can use more than 1 inch. If you want that part to be more opened, you can add to it, make it 1.5 or 2 inches. So once I do that, then I will transfer the measurement I have on the real chest level to the new chest level. So I will confirm the measurement, then transfer it on the point. So now I will be reconstructing the armhole. So the construction of my armhole will go this way. From the 4 inches point I marked out on the shoulder line, downward to the new chest level. Then I will have the armhole like so. Now, in a case whereby you want to have your waistcoat as a standalone, that is, you want to be putting it on all alone, then you can skip this step. You can skip it. You will still have to reduce the shoulder line, but it's not going to be as much as this. And for the chest level, you don't need to take it downward by 1 inch. You are going to maintain your real chest level, then you reconstruct your armhole. That is, if you want to use your waistcoat as a stand alone, you are not putting on a shirt under before putting on the waistcoat. So guys, as far as the upper part of our waistcoat is concerned, we are done with the drafting. Now let's move to the drafting of the lower part, and the next step is to plot the darts. In plotting the darts for our double-breasted waistcoat with a short collar, this has to be done on the waist level. So on the waist level, from the center back, I will insert 4 inches. Okay, then our dart intake is going to be half of an inch. I will mark out half of an inch and get the midpoint, which is 0.25. So which means from the 4 inches to the middle line is 0.25. From the midline to the other point is 0.25. In total, I have half of an inch. Then on the waistcoat length, I will insert the same measurements. I will take my ruler, my straight ruler, then connect all the points together, midpoint to midpoint and the side lines to side lines. Now the next thing I will be doing is to extend my dart to the chest level. Then the dart intake I used on the waistline is 4 inches. So that is from the center back to the first line. And I will insert the same measurements on the chest level. And I will connect the 4 inches point I have on the chest level to the mid dart I have on the waist level. So this is not going to be a perfect straight line. Then from this line, the line I just drew out on the chest level, I will bring this downward by 2 inches because the dart must not get to the exact chest point. Then the 2 inches point will be connected to the 2 sides of my dart. So guys, after plotting the dart, the next step is to insert the horizontal measurements, which will help us in constructing the side seam. So the horizontal measurements are measurements taken in circumference. I have the chest level inserted already, which I use in constructing the armhole. So I have the waist and the waistcoat measurements left. So on the waist level, I will use 9 inches as my measurement. In achieving this measurement, you can either take this directly on your client or work with my formula, which has been working well for me. What I usually do is to subtract from the chest circumference measurement I took on my client. The chest circumference measurement I'm working with is 38 inches. And quarter of 38 inches is 9.5 inches. So instead of inserting 9.5 inches, I will insert 9 inches. So I've subtracted half of an inch from the quarter of the measurement, which is 2 inches in total. So this will give me a fitted waistline. But if you want your waistcoat to be on a straight line, you don't want it fitted, you can just take this downward on a straight line to the hemline. Then on the waistcoat length, I will insert quarter of the hip circumference measurement. The hip circumference is 39 inches. I will divide this by 4 and it gives me 9.75. there. Then after inserting all my real measurements, on every point I plotted my dart, I will need to return the dart intake. The dart intake I used on the waist level is half of an inch. So from this point, I will measure half of an inch forward, which is here. Then I'll cross this out. On the waistcoat length as well, I will measure half of an inch forward because my dart intake is half of an inch. Then I will cross this out. Having done this, the next step is to connect all the points together. The point I have here, the one I have here, and the one I have on the waistcoat length. Connection from the chest level for the connection from the chest level to the waist level requires my very firm curve. So this is not going to be on a perfect straight line. So it's going to be a little bit curvy. Not that much, but just a little. And as you can see, I connected this from the new chest line I measured downward. Then from the waistline to the waistcoat length, I will use a straight ruler. I'm using a straight ruler because I want that part to be fitted as much as possible. So guys, after constructing the side seam, the last step is to shape the hemline of our waistcoat. But for the back panel, I will not be doing this now because I have to shape the front and the back panels together. So I will leave this for now After drafting the front panel, then I will shape the two together. Then on the hemline, apart from the waistcoat length line I have here, I added half of an inch as my hem allowance. So the half of an inch is what I will be using in finishing the lower part of my waistcoat.